That lawnmower. That's it. Start that. Jake Paul might be too big for him, or Tank might crack him. You don't know.
I made a post and basically told Roach. He tagged Lamar Roach and he said, "Look, you're not getting that fight with Tank."
A day in the life of Gervonta TankDavis as he prepares for Jake Paul. Gervonta Davis's daily grind is all about focus, discipline, and relentless hard work. Every training session is centered on refining sharpness, power, and speed. From intense conditioning drills to high-level sparring, Davis remains fully locked in, pushing himself with one goal in mind, to rise to the challenge ahead. There's no room for distractions, only purpose and drive. Paulie Romero offers a grounded take on the upcoming clash between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. He emphasizes that Tank's legacy is already secure, regardless of the fight's outcome. As a proven world champion with a decorated career, Davis has nothing left to prove, especially not against a crossover opponent like Jake Paul. Still, Romero admits that Jake's natural size advantage is a real factor. While Paul's physicality may pose a challenge, it doesn't take away from the respect and achievements Davis has already earned in the sport.
Might be too big for him, but like Jake Paul might be too big for him, or Tank might crack him. You don't know. Like I said, or as an exhibition, we don't know if they throw at each other or not, or we don't know. I don't know. I can't give an opinion because I don't know what's going on.
Do you think it impacts, will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were to beat him or even knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him.
You know, some people trying to give, that's fair, some people trying to give Tank a hard time. They're saying he should have took a fight with Lamar Roach or Shakur Stevenson. But when you think about it, do you think this is business and look, he's getting a bag, or is there some validity to people saying that he ducked Roach?
I mean, there's still other options, you know. It's bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them. It's the same way Roach feels Tank is the best option for him. Same way that Stevenson thinks Tank's the best option for him, or all this.
Paulie Malignaggi weighs in, experience versus size. Paulie Malignaggi underscores a key difference in the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis matchup: experience trumps size. While Jake Paul has gained attention for his physical presence and rising popularity, Malignaggi firmly believes that raw strength doesn't outweigh seasoned boxing skill. Gervonta TankDavis has headlined major events, battled top-tier opponents, and built a deep well of experience under the brightest lights. No matter how much bigger Jake Paul is, he can't replicate the years of training, ring intelligence, and adaptability that Davis brings to the table. For Malignaggi, it's clear, when it comes to boxing, skill and experience often determine the outcome more than physical advantages ever could.
He's the bona fide world champion. I don't care if he's much smaller. I think Jake Paul has sort of plateaued as far as where his boxing is concerned. It's rather low level. Yeah. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, he can hit. So there is that risk. Davis, at lightweight, you're in a moment where it's too physical for you. You can clinch. Against the heavyweight, where you clinching? You ain't getting out of that corner just clinching anymore if you run out of space. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. But Davis, listen, there's a lot of talking points that I'm sure we'll get into when this gets closer to the fight. Davis can still punch at lightweight. Can he drop a heavyweight? There's a lot to gain there, right? If Davis knocks...
The answer is yes.
If Davis drops Jake on his ass, as much as Davis is the one with more to lose, it's still a highlight moment.
A visual that will stay forever.
Yeah, but if you get dropped, even if you're smaller, you're still a world champion, multiple weight classes. If you get dropped, what's the look? What's the feel? On the inside, as boxers, me and Chris Algieri, the champ, even you, Jimmy, you have fight experience, so we know that the risk is a big guy that big hits you. You're probably going down if you're a small guy, if he hits you clean. So we know the risk, but how does it look to the public eye who don't understand that? You know what I mean? The public. So there is a lot to lose, though. There's a bit to gain. I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with this had Davis's career arc been one that benefited boxing. Davis was manufactured and put into a position where he's supposed to benefit boxing, and I don't think he has. I think he's hurt boxing. So by giving him this reward, that's my problem. Why are we watching this? Why don't you make him earn his spot that he still has?
Teofimo Lopez. It's more spectacle than sport. Teofimo Lopez views the upcoming Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis bout as more of a spectacle than a traditional sporting contest. In his eyes, the fight isn't about legacy or rankings, it's about entertainment and the massive financial upside for both fighters. Lopez acknowledges that while it may lack the prestige of a world title bout, the event still holds value. By capturing mainstream attention, even a high-profile exhibition-style matchup can bring in new audiences and expand boxing's reach. For Lopez, that exposure is ultimately a win for the sport.
I'm actually very happy for Gervonta and Jake. I really am, man. It's good for the sport in some way, you know?
So a heavyweight versus a lightweight.
Yeah.
You got a fly hit me, yeah. A heavyweight versus a lightweight. How's this going to work?
Hey, they make it work. It's an exhibition for a reason. So, you know, they know what they're doing. And, you know, shout out to Netflix and shout out to both of them, honestly. Like I said, I think a lot of people in the boxing world are kind of upset. I could care less. I think they're going to go out there and make their money. It falls on the number 8 for a reason. They're going to make a lot of money.
Have you got a prediction for that fight?
My prediction? A show. A show.
Well, clearly it's a show, but when you've got a lot of people underestimating Jake Paul once again, but when you've got a heavyweight boxer who knows how to throw punches and knows the basics against a lightweight, it's quite a difference. I mean, have you sparred heavyweights before?
Yeah.
For competitive sparring in the ring?
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same, not at all. Definitely got to move. I've actually played around a few times, went through between their legs just to duck around. But yeah, because they're taller, you know. But I think for that competition, that fight, it reminds me a lot like The Big Show, and Floyd Mayweather when they fought in